Hi everyone, welcome back to making a Pokemon save editor in C. Wow, I just checked my phone and I realized that the app that I use at the gym to track my exercises and like the weight, I never finished my session, so it's going to cancel it early unless I fill this out now. Was that my last one? I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. I actually just wanted to set like a timer so I don't spend hours in this episode. It's about 8:30 on a Monday night. Have work tomorrow, so I don't want to spend too long on this. So we did, however, have a very successful previous episode. We were able to change the player's gender. Now, this is probably the simplest and most straightforward change that we could actually make. So it was quite simply setting 1 byte of data. Well, at 1 byte, the value is either 0 or 1. If you set it to 1, your player is considered a girl, and if it's 0, your player is a boy. So, I mean, the tricky part is in calculating a correct checksum to check the integrity of that data, which we were able to do. And we know that it worked okay because loading this save file actually worked and our character changed gender. So I think we should probably look at cleaning up some of this code and removing some of these warnings. In fact, I'm going to leave that there because I think that might be quite interesting to keep. This function we'll come back to. It would be quite nice to, whenever we work on a section, like print its address inside the file, but we need to know whether we're in block A or block B. So I don't know if we wanted to store like some kind of global offset that we start from, and then we can infer what block we're in, but I'm not going to think about that in this episode. What I would like to do is check what's going on here. Simplify sign and justification. Oh, whoops. Oh, well, that's not right. I don't know why it would possibly invalid printf format specifier. Well, I don't think that's wrong necessarily. I mean, let's actually go through the warnings of our build output, which is somewhere. Is it in messages? CMake run. I mean, we could just build it ourselves with like GCC. Whatever, let's do that. Okay, so we have 2. So this format specifies unsigned int, but our argument has unsigned long. So that one's actually quite straightforward. If I can find the line that it's on, it was 68. So this just needs to become a long hex. And then our trainer info, so incompatible pointer types, initializing trainer info with an expression of type data. Okay. I don't know if it would just accept a cast. I think I tried that, right? It just says it's redundant. Will it still say incompatible pointer if we do the cast? Oh, whoops. No. Okay. So that cast is fine. Does our program still work? Looks like it does. Although actually we've messed up our file. Whatever, we'll assume that it works because nothing seems to have changed. Okay, so what is the problem here? I'm guessing it should be const. Which I guess in this scope it can be. What is the matter here? I'm gonna leave those as they are. It just doesn't seem to like my using this format specifier, I guess, on that type, so I'm not gonna bother looking at that. Incompatible pointer types returning a section pointer from a function with result type save block pointer. Yeah, so I mean technically a save block. Wait, it returns a section pointer from a function with result type save block pointer. I guess because save file is just a struct of save blocks, and a save block is 14 sections. So like they're kinda the same thing. I mean, it may actually help if we were to just do... Wait, no, I don't want the first section. Oh, sorry. We are returning a section pointer, but it... Well, I mean, it's technically a section pointer, but it doesn't like that. Maybe we should figure that out another time. I guess we could just cast it. What would we want to cast it to? Save block. If I can spell it correctly. Will it like that? I guess. And it doesn't say it's redundant. Same output as before, so maybe it's okay.
I really hope hay fever season is over for me soon because it is no fun. Okay, so what I would like to do now is change the gender of the player. I think that is what I want to do. Sorry, not change the gender, change the name. So... Okay, that is unused unknown. Trainer ID, time played, options. Okay. So... Player name is actually a string, which, as we know, is not a type. In C, there is no straight-up string type. Now, I know we can declare them as character arrays, so I could actually just say player name is 8 characters. And this should still work exactly the same as it did before. AF8 1E73.
1E73. Yeah, exactly. So it still works the same as it did before. At least I hope so. So let's just reset and just double check that none of our changes have broken stuff. So you can see Pokemon FR is from yesterday. So this is the save file that's actually used with the GBA ROM. So I'm just going to remove that because we can always recreate this. I'm going to use my known good copy here and set that back to where it was. If we open the same file from here, although actually it saves to dump.sav, so let me actually run the program again and it will create okay, that's a bit sus, although the real checksum should technically be different. Do we calculate the checksum after we make the change? Yes, we do. Okay. So there is a chance that this is still valid. Otherwise, I've just undone like all of the work I did last night. So let's open dump.sav and we want to take, yeah, this offset right here. So I'm going to jump to this offset, although actually it's loaded from last time and it is set to 1. Okay, great. So all of our changes are still fine. So let's look at how we can change the character's name. So let's do like a new function here, which I guess would be a void. I don't know if yeah, we'll read the input in the function for the time being. There's going to be a lot of refactoring later when we try and firm this up a bit, but for now I just want to kind of get something working. The real exercise is that there is a text, there is some kind of text encoding which is here. So basically every character forms a not a variable, but like some kind of byte here. So this is our most significant number in, I guess, the base 16 byte, and this is our least significant. So for my name Josh, I would start with C4, or I would translate this J into C4. Then I would translate the O into E3. I would then translate the S into E7, and then the H would be DC. So I have one initial question here, which is, does endianness apply to strings? I don't know. And I also think I have a very stupid name. This is like oh no, ABCBA actually is a very useful name. I thought my name was just loads of A's over and over. So we can actually search out our name. I mean, it's actually in just before the gender, so that's why we were seeing like BB, BC, BB, and then this string is padded with F's until the very end. So BB should be A if we're reading this table correctly. BB, yes, that's right. So then BC is B. Actually, no, sorry, I have picked a very not useful name because I can't tell which way round this actually is. Yeah, that's a really terrible name I chose. um, I don't think it matters though, because we can kind of tell from these FF characters that they are effectively just padding, or it's a control character. So characters on a white background are the only characters that can be input in names. F1 through F6 can be used in German names. Well, we'll only deal with English for the moment, just to kind of keep things simple. So we only really want to have all of these symbols. Those might be tricky to deal with. And we just want to basically make a table for them. I'm trying to think of like an easy way in which we can do that, but I'm just gonna see if we can put this maybe into like a tabular format in something like LibreOffice. So if we make like a spreadsheet, keep that automatic, see what this comes up with, if it even works. It doesn't seem that bad. It looks positively hideous. But what we can do is get rid of these rows where we know there's not going to be any characters that we can use. So let's delete that. And then we have what's on row A at the very end, because it refuses to load that correctly. It's like a bullet point character, but it's not used anyway. So let's just delete whatever's in there. And then there's a weird re character here, which I'm also going to get rid of because it's not used. There's also the $Poké sign, which I guess is rendered in Bulbapedia as the P dollar. We can't use that one. And there's also an X, which we cannot use. Actually, the entire bottom row is also unusable for our purposes as well. So let's delete that. I have no idea what's going on there. It looks like this text is lingering. That's not good. Okay, where is this coming from? I'm just trying to get a tabulated like kind of view of the data so we can make what is probably going to need to be a very big switch case statement. Yeah. Okay. But this is concerning me a bit. The fact we can see whatever the hell text is supposed to be there. Because I thought I deleted it. But let's see what happens if we were to save this as a CSV. And let's put it in our... Huh, that's like a really old desktop of mine. Wow. Yes, you can access there. GBA. what should we call this? Character table dot CSV. And we'll use CSV format. Is comma okay? There's probably a comma character in here. There is a comma character in here. Boo. Okay. We could use tab and actually save it as TSV. But that would look kind of hideous. I don't know, actually. What would look better? We also would need to enumerate these rows. So actually, I'm going to get rid of this column as well. So everything along here is our header. And we basically, yeah, just have kind of one table. But the fact a comma character is being used is a little bit annoying. I'll call it a CSV, and what I'm going to use instead is semicolons. And let's save the cell content as shown. And let's see what this looks like if we were to just straight up read it. So we should have a... Did I not save this to the right? Oh, I saved it to the GBA folder. Okay, actually, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, hang on. Is semicolon a character in here as well? Or have I just removed it? I've removed it. Okay. It actually kind of looks like everything lines up as I expect. Yeah. Okay. So we might be able to do something like read this and just auto-generate our kind of switch case statement. Unless there's some crazy data structure we could implement to handle this, but I think there's such a limited character set that it probably really doesn't matter too much. So yeah, let's just do this. And what I would be interested in doing is maybe making a maybe something like a Python file, which can take this CSV and literally output us some of the C code that we want. Because there is a module for CSV in Python, which I will have a read of once I blow my nose. Okay, so there is a CSV reader object which we can create, and you can set things like the delimiter. Okay, what is new line? If CSV file is a file object, it should be open with blank new line. Okay, we can do that. So then how would we use a reader? We would for row in reader. Oh, okay, it kind of enumerates based on the header. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So, what do we do here? Let's import CSV. Character table. Did I call it .csv? I think I did, yeah. So with opening that file with no new line, and read mode is the default argument as CS. Let's just call it file. Our reader is a CSV reader that takes in our file. The delimiter is the semicolon character, and we don't have any quotes, so I assume it's okay. What is quote car? None, or speech mark, which we do have. I guess this needs to be set to none. So we have a reader, and so every heading is going to be labeled something like I don't know why the -0 wasn't there. -0, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So we can probably say for row in reader. Is it rows that they iterate over first? Yeah. And that's actually the entire row. Okay, so a row has some kind of accessible value. Okay. What we also need to do is add the let's call this most significant. I mean, it's not really a bit, but the most significant part of this number. It needs to start at A, and for every row, basically go to F. Which, I don't know if we can just iterate like that in Python. In fact, can you... No, it gives you the actual number. Interesting. Okay. So... Because you can't... I don't know if you can just go from, like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Unless we just did... some kind of, like, list... And we don't even need the F row as well. That is our... It's not even our X, it's our Y, I guess, axis. For the Y value and the row in our... It's actually the Y index. And then let's enumerate our reader. Our Y value is actually the index of the Y list. So that will go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I don't know is what actually is a row. Is it a special object here? Oh, wait. Can it not infer...
Oh, it can. It can infer if we were to use a dict reader. But does that have a different constructor? It does. Field names. Dialect Excel. What? Can we even set the delimiter in here? Okay, it passes args to the underlying reader, which is here. And that was where we could set quote car and whatever else, right? Yeah. Okay. So then we actually know what every character in the table is going to be. So has it trimmed off that first value? No, it hasn't. So I guess we could take the keys of xval in... Oh, but then if it's a dict... Actually, no, every row is a... Yeah, every row is a dict. So x... Or let's just call this our regular label, is y value, which we know is a string. Well, y value is in it, but what we actually want to do is take xval and just the last character of xval, because our x value starts with a minus every time. Which, to be fair, we could just edit out of our CSV. Should we do that? That would make things a lot easier. Let's remove that. Yeah. So now we don't even need to worry about that. So that is our label. And I'm going to change that to val. Then the actual value itself that we want to kind of get, or I guess this is our car, is row xval. So what we can do here is say label is car, and let's see if that works. And we need to say Python 3. Quote car must be set if quoting enabled. Can we quote minimal? I don't really want quoting, so... These actually seem to be for writer objects mostly. Interpret an empty unquoted string as none. And to otherwise behave... No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. Maybe let's just remove. We'll let it do its thing. Okay. So this actually looks quite accurate, maybe? Although the labels are the wrong way round. But A1 is 0. A2 is 1. So I've got my... Oh yeah, actually the Y, the Y does go first. Whoops. So that will look better. The other thing we want to do as well is ignore it if the character is empty. So let's just say continue, if not character. Okay, that's much nicer. So A1 is 0. Yeah, okay. So if we wanted to put this into something like a switch case, we would have to use the same like syntax that we have in this file. So something like this. I'm actually going to make this wider so it'll be easier to read. So we literally just do case character and then the character we set it to. So let's make an empty string here. And let's say, so we'll take whatever's in the C string already, plus a new formatted string, which should probably be a multi-line string, which says case character colon. Then on the next line, we tab in by 1, and we say our encoded character is 0x label. Now at the very end, and we also want to do a new line, and we want to append to the C string. So then at the end of our file, let's see what the C string looks like. Yep, very nice. Great. So is lowercase z EE? Yes, it is. Alright, fabulous. So we can actually just copy that straight back into our C file, which we will call let's call it text encode. Const char s, and actually it's probably going to need to, yeah, this is going to need to be a function in its own right, so it's not going to take any user input. I take that back, because this is so like involved, well, not really involved, but
we basically want to say for each character in input string, encode it using the switch case, and write each encoded car back to the string. I do wonder as well if we need something like string length. Because we want to know how much text we want to encode. Well, let's just call it len. Although actually the string should be null terminated, but I feel like it's good practice to actually have the user clarify, I guess. Oh, and also I guess we also want an output length as well. Or do we? No. No, we can just say len. So code a string of length len. Oh wait, I don't know if every single text is encoded. Or sorry, padded, like we saw there with FF. So let's see. What if we search for our Pokemon, which I'm pretty sure was Squirtle? So that would be C, D, C, D, C, B, and then CF. And that might be enough. So let's do a search for CD, CD, CB, CF. It hasn't found it, possibly? Is it? I'm pressing the search button, but it's just like rolling through everything. I'm trying to find my Pokemon's name, which would obviously be there in the save data. It is just Squirtle and nothing else. Assuming I have the Pokemon, which I'm pretty sure I do in the game. Should we check? So we do, and it's level 6. So it's interesting that we can't find that. And it's just like cycling through all of the data. Okay. Interesting. Let's have a look then at team/items. Oh wait, hang on. Strings in fixed length fields are terminated with FF, with any remainder padded with zeros. Well, our character's name, which was set here, is A, B, C, B, A. And that is clearly padded with F. So I am confusion. But I guess for next time, let's try and search out some more examples of where text is being used in the save file, so we kind of have a point of reference. And see what they are padded with. Because it's interesting how, you know, you have these 8 bytes here which you can use for your name, but they're padded with Fs as opposed to zeros as claimed in the article. So that is interesting. But either way, I think we are making good progress. So we kind of have our table of data which we can edit. Let me actually do this in C line as opposed to there. And let's do something like, you know, character X equals whatever, A. And then we can copy in our... Or actually, before we do that, what I'm missing in the Python is a quote around here. So let's exit out of that and run that script again. And we're also missing a semicolon on that, and we're also missing a break as well. With a new line required. What? Oh, that shouldn't go after the new line. Why is there a leading new line here? So we have a new line. Oh wait, we don't need that one. Yeah, that's much nicer. Okay. So let's grab that and actually put this into our file. So switch X. Now if I copy and paste, it does format somewhat properly. And I think I will move this out because that is obnoxiously long. Oh, why? Why would you do that to me? Just go in that much. Yep, there we go. Now, there is some weirdness here with speech marks. We might just reject any input that does that. But for now, we have a usable kind of table-ish. It's a bit annoying how it's going to have to go through all of these, but that's sort of all we have in the meantime.
I'm gonna put a to do in here and just say check speech mark characters. But everything else, I think we can do in the next episode. We also have a default. So, yeah. All right, cool. We have a goal for the next episode, so I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.